here we are on this rooftop unit, and I just wanted to take you through since we did a repair and everything is open. Here you have all of your controls. You have your control board, your thermostat inputs. That's where you get your call for heating, cooling, whatever. You have your capacitors, you have your contactors, your fan, your compressors, you have your fuses, you have your filter dryers, your compressors, and you have your access port. This is your suction line, this is your discharge line. And the way this works, once you have the vapor refrigerant coming back to the compressor, it basically becomes a high pressure, high temperature vapor that gets sent over here. And in this unit it goes through here, it goes into the condenser, which up here you have your condenser fans. You can also see them here, that's your condenser fan motors. This is your condenser. So you have high temperature, high pressure vapor refrigerant enter the condenser, and then you have the condenser fan motors pull air across the condenser coil, the condenser fins, which helps dissipate heat and remove the heat from the refrigerant. You can see all of this is our coil. Once that is done, the vapor refrigerant turns into a liquid and it exits our condenser. It returns over here. It goes into our now liquid line. This is liquid refrigerant, high pressure liquid refrigerant. And it goes through a filter dryer, which removes moisture and particles. And then it goes through here, over into here we have our evaporator. But it goes here, that's our liquid line. It goes into your metering device, which in this case, it's a TXV, a thermostatic expansion valve. So you have a sensing bulb down here, and that helps apply pressure down and open the orifice or close the orifice inside to regulate the amount of liquid refrigerant that enters here. Here you have what is called a distributor, which helps the liquid refrigerant expand and turn into tiny mist, which helps it to start evaporating sooner. And then it enters here into your evaporator, which this is your evaporator. Over there, let's move over here, that's important now. You have your blower motor, which runs and turns, bum, 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 it turns, and it pulls hot air from the space, which is down here. It pulls hot air across the coil, which fully changes the liquid refrigerant into a vapor, absorbing the heat from the space. So the air coming out here is colder than entering here because you're absorbing the heat in the refrigerant. And that's the blower motor, and that pushes the air down into the space. Also here you have filters, which protects the equipment, protects the evaporator coil, the blower, everything. So filters are very important. And here you have your condensation, which this pan is pretty nasty, but basically the air has moisture in it. And since this coil is colder and the air temperature drops, the moisture gets released from the air and comes down here, and that's condensation. So all of that happens. And then lastly, once your vapor refrigerant leaves the evaporator coil, it goes back on this big line and returns to your compressor, to your suction line. And I hope I covered everything, but that's putting everything together that you just learned.